it'll be interesting to see how Musk, starts changing the Twitter product and what happens to Twitter's free speech, content moderation, and all of those policies. Elon Musk announced his his decision to buy Twitter on April 13th. He had called it an all-in-one as his best and final offer, and he was offering around 43 billion. One reason why Elon Musk appears to have bought Twitter and the board has finally given him the approval for the deal is that he believes that Twitter is very important for free speech, and it's like the de facto town square of the internet. It's not necessarily true. I mean, it's not like Twitter has 1 billion users, such as say Facebook or other platforms. Twitter is actually quite less. It's at around 300 billion users. But Musk believes in the importance of Twitter. He believes in the importance of Twitter for democracy, or at least that's what he's saying for now. And he says that it's important for free speech and the functioning of how democracies work. So that could be one reason why he's buying it. He's also said that he believes in the potential of Twitter and he thinks he's the right person to unlock it. Elon Musk announced his bid. It came after he was supposed to join the board, but he had declined. It should be noted that Elon Musk had become the biggest shareholder for Twitter. He owned around 9% of the stock, and he was supposed to join the board, but he didn't. Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal announced that he wasn't joining the board, and then he made his bid to actually buy out Twitter entirely. Now, the Twitter board wasn't very happy when he first proposed this, and actually was going to take the poison pill defense, where it wouldn't allow him to take over. But it seems that once he had said that he had secured funding, because Musk has done this in the past, there have been questions on how he would fund this acquisition since he was paying $44 billion for the social network. But once he announced that he had secured the funding for the deal, it seems that the board was also under a lot of pressure from shareholders to take it up, and they seem to have gone with the decision. Musk is very keen on making free speech a big part of Twitter. He insists that free speech is very important. Exactly how it's going to change, what are the rule changes that's going to be taking place for content moderation on Twitter, we don't quite know yet. He's also talked about keeping the algorithm open, making the algorithm open so that users have a better understanding of how the content that they're seeing on Twitter or the posts that they're seeing on Twitter, how it's being decided. He's also made it very clear that he wants to take Twitter away from its dependence on ads. He's talked about taking the company private. If this deal does go through and it gets approval from the government and regulators, he wants to take the company private. There's also been concern on whether he's going to allow people whose accounts have been permanently suspended, say former President Donald Trump. Trump himself has said that he's not interested in coming back to Twitter, that he's going to focus on his own social network, which is Truth Social. But we'll have to see how Musk actually impacts the product and the policies of Twitter. He's also in the past talked about an edit button. Now, Twitter has already said that they are building an edit button, and they insist that it was nothing to do with what Musk had tweeted. He had in fact put out a poll saying that do you think Twitter needs an edit button? Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal has apparently told employees that right now the company's future is a bit dark. It's not clear what lies ahead. So we'll have to wait and see how it develops. While Musk has been talking a lot about free speech and the importance of free speech, we know in the past that he's not been very happy with critics. He has fired employees in the past who criticized Tesla. He's, I think, even cancelled journalists, Model X Tesla, because they had criticized the firm. So he doesn't really take criticism in his stride. But he did tweet saying that I hope my worst critics will continue to remain on Twitter because that's what free speech is about. But he has gotten approval from the former CEO, Jack Dorsey. Dorsey tweeted saying that Elon is the singular idea that he seems to trust, and he thinks it's the right move, taking company private and taking it away from Wall Street and dependence on ads. So Jack Dorsey thinks that Elon Musk's vision and Parag's visions are going to be similar for Twitter. So he has given him the seal of approval.